There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the cold of morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show here for Saturday, May the 10th. We're getting ready for our live coverage today from UFC 315 in Montreal, as we have a great card tonight. We'll join the boys here at 5:40 p.m. Eastern, 2:40 Pacific. Get you ready for that UFC coverage tonight. Make sure you're here with us for that full fight card, including that main event between Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Welterweights here, Muhammad the champ, Della Maddalena, the fifth ranked contender in the division. It's really in there because Rakhmonov is injured, so it should be still a good main event with Della Maddalena has won 17 straight professional fights. Muhammad has won 10 straight professional fights, and we'll be here with the coverage tonight with the boys. And there's also a nice, huge co-main event with the legend Valentina Shevchenko going up against Manon Fiorot for the flyweight championship. Shevchenko, the two-time champion, going up against Fiorot, who's never lost in the UFC, and there's other great fights as well. But man, we've got to wait a long time today for our major U.S. sports coverage. Good thing we've got some other things going on here today, including more fighting this afternoon. At noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. I mean, you're going to be looking for something to do if you're not into the soccer action here today or the tennis like I am as wow. Danielle Collins just now with the win here over what's wrong with my tennis game. Iga Swiatek goes down to defeat again here at another clay court event. Long time coming, or long time for Iga not winning these matches, and Danielle with a great upset here. A $5 dog this morning, winning in straight sets. My favorite. Danielle Collins advances here in Rome today in straight sets. We're well underway with some other great action here today, and there have been some upsets along the way here today. Peyton Stearns beat Madison Keys earlier today. In a bit of an upset for sure there, and Francis Tiafoe went down to defeating to Offner here, and there's other matches underway, and there's soccer action as well. We're just an hour away from kickoff in the Premier League and most of the other Big Five getting ready to start here. One underway. Valencia's crushing Getafe. I had a pretty big card here. Decided to roll out a card here today on the weekend with mostly because we didn't have much early action. Of course, I want to be involved in something, but without any early baseball, gave a long look at the soccer card here on a Saturday. And You can get my picks over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get picks from me today, including on that UFC card. I've got my picks. The guys have theirs, and I've got mine, and you can check us out. Get ready to go for UFC 315. We've got our first strike video up, ready, out there, and available underneath the live tab on YouTube, and also VB MMA Picks, my show with top noted MMA handicapper VB, and his guest this week was Gordo Gambles, as we covered the fight card from Montreal, including those two huge fights. So you can get started on your handicapping for the fight card today that begins, like I said, early evening. I gave you the time that we'll be on the air, but the fight card itself here tonight actually begins at 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific. So don't hold the guys to it. I don't know if we're going to go on an hour before that main event starts, but there's some other good fights out there as well here today. Including that, like I said, if you're looking for a little action now, the fight card, the PFL fight card, starts at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, and that's on DAZN. So if you're looking for that extra action here today. All right. And also, my UFC card is over there at winnable.com as part of my premium pick package today. But you can get all you need really with the guys on their UFC playbook for all the members here on the Sports Money Network. You can get their analysis and their picks from the guys underneath the posts tab and go over to the UFC playbook, and they'll have plenty of plays there for you today for pardon me, UFC 315 from Montreal tonight. All right, and I'll be along with the guys there. I know I'm not with them on every fight here tonight. I try to roll with my guys, but we'll see what happens tonight in UFC 315. All right. Appreciate that. Go ahead and get the discount over there, winnable.com/Ramon. Save 20% when you use the promo code STEAM. And I've got my plays up as well for several other sports here right now, including under my premium picks. More tennis action here this afternoon. And my soccer card is for free over there at winnable.com when you sign up for my free picks there. We'll try to bring some of these home here on Sunday. All right. Appreciate that. And we'll get ready to go to our full card here of sports action. We'll talk about what happened last night. We'll say hello to some folks in the chat as we get rolling here on Saturday for the big games here, including our NBA and NHL previews. I want to say thank you to Sean for becoming a member here on the Sports Money Network. Cash Kane was first through the doors today. Thank you for being here, Kane. So don't forget, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. With all of our features and coverage here today. I hope you caught pre-gaming yesterday. We did have also Andrew Babakitis from the Westgate Superbook. There was also some additional coverage there. You might want to catch the interview with Babakitis as we previewed UFC 315 from the book perspective, including checking out the sharp action there and some of the moves there at his book, some of the sharp action and previews, and some picks as well from the guys there talking UFC 315 on pre-gaming yesterday. Good morning to Robert. Thank you very much for your support of me here on the Sports Money Network. Nuke is here as well, ready to roll following our action last night. Ziggy says, what's up? And YC Bar is here. Jim has liked it. He's smashed it. Nuke says, smash it now. You guys got to say it because Mike always says I don't say it enough. So he's doing his best to make sure we get the word out of the Sports Money Network. Todd Clinton, thank you. I'm going to be here every morning early. And Laker Boy says, how about the Dodgers? He says, Ega, you out? Philly Eagle Flyer, good morning. And Jim says, so I'm whining about the fact that all the sports don't even begin until 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, at least when it comes to the major sports action here today, including that basketball game. And then baseball doesn't even get underway until 4 o'clock. It's like a night card almost here today. And that's okay. We'll be able to maybe relax a little, watch some soccer here. Jim says, how are the Knicks 6-point dogs against this Celtic team? They can't even win. Now Terrell's going to go Cleveland, just like he went Minnesota. Let's take a look at the action here from last night in the NBA with our games here from the action there with Cleveland and Indiana last night as we recap the plays from yesterday. And man, I couldn't see straight on that game here because Cleveland got all their players back and it was no problem for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They dominated the first half and took a big halftime lead, but it was really Donovan Mitchell. He was dunking, he was getting fired up, and he looked great with 43 points. The road team has won all 3 games in this series. We've seen some things like this kind of before, road teams winning, and the man, Cleveland wins and covers big time in an over there. I went under 229 and a half. Remember, we talked about that weird move, right? We were on the air live. I think everyone saw it on Friday night or on Thursday night with the big 4-point move to the under. By the time you get up the next morning, it was back up to 229. Seemed like a pretty big head fake, as it did end up going over. They didn't need that extra handicap, but it did sneak over there in the end. It felt like it was going over all the way, and then it stopped in the last 3 minutes, still snuck over the total by 1 point there. And also, of course, Cleveland gets that win there in game number 3 as the series shifted back to Cleveland, and now they've got a win in the books. And we'll see what happens on Sunday. Okay, Oklahoma City and Denver last night. It was the Denver Nuggets. Guess what? I mean, Denver right now leading this series. They've got the home court advantage. And what did we say? Now, no one's panicking with this Oklahoma City team right now, but they are trailing in the series. The Nuggets won despite a subpar game from Jokic, if you want to call it that. He was just 8 of 25 from the floor, but other players like Aaron Gordon stepped up big time. Russ a good game, and Oklahoma City wins 113-104 in overtime, or Denver wins, of course, in overtime. Oklahoma City scored on only 1 possession in overtime as Denver kind of pulled away to take a 2-1 series lead there in a bit of a stunner for sure, because like we said, Oklahoma City, they're terrific. We know that. Incredible record this season, best record, but you got Joker. Now, I'm not saying because he had that subpar game, and that's part of the scary part, right? Is Denver was able to step it up there, and could it be? You guys have been saying it. Sometimes it's the experience over the youth when it comes to the playoffs, and is that what we're seeing again with Denver? Will we have a huge upset here now? Interesting to note here for the game on Sunday. The Thunder is right back a favorite again in that one, and so is Cleveland. They're both about 5-point favorites once again on the road for that action on Sunday. So we'll see if those teams get going there a little bit down in the series. Okay. All right, and what else last night? We did have NHL action as well between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. And how about what we saw in that one with that win for Florida in overtime in a wild one? Those guys are just scoring goals like nobody's business here. I didn't think it would. I mean, I know it's a high scoring series. I just thought that of this particular situation right now, given the stakes, that these teams would play a little bit tighter here. But man, it was wild and loose there. With we had a lead in the game, we've had comebacks in the game, and now with the win there yesterday for Florida, getting the 5-4 win, they're on the board. There as Toronto was trying to get away from them with a 3-0 lead, but Florida is able to get their first win. We did go with the puck line here yesterday, so trying to find some winners. At least we had the over in that game late, or I'm sorry, the under in that game late with Dallas and Winnipeg there. But man, I couldn't really do too many playoff winners yesterday. Hopefully you guys did, but we did have Winnipeg here, the under in the Winnipeg game with Dallas in the 4-0 win
Final.
for Winnipeg. So right now in the NHL playoffs, Toronto leading 2-1 still over Florida, but it feels like maybe they're Panthers have earned their way back into the series a little bit. Obviously, they're still the home team in charge. So Florida, all they can do is hold serve in the next game. And then Dallas and Winnipeg, of course, tied at 1 right now in that series. All right. Let's say hello to a few more folks and get rolling here on the show. And let's see who else is joining us in the chat. Hello to everyone. And Terrell says Garland had that big effort, and that allowed Donovan to kind of get loose there a little bit. And Doge talking about the success there of the Panthers. And Kripke says the Celtics will smash this game today. The road team is the advantage at the moment, he says. And that maybe to take those road teams, a Kripke, thank you there. I think that's a Georgia Bulldog logo, of course, it looks like. Celtics have won 12 straight road games off of a loss. Hello to Textiles here today. Jim Duiger says, anytime the Leafs lose, that's a good thing. All right. Hey, I'll recap a little bit of baseball action here from Saturday since I want to feel like I won. So, make a pick on every game. We better win more than half of them. Yesterday, we didn't start off that well with Atlanta and Pittsburgh there yesterday, with the Pittsburgh coming through with a little bit of a pretty good effort there by the Pirates for their new manager there to debut, right? You got to get a win for your new manager, 3-2 in that one. But we did have a winner with the Texas Rangers on the run line. It was Detroit winning with Skubal. That incredible performance yesterday, totally in charge. Skubal, huge, 12 strikeouts in 7 innings, allowed just 2 hits, but we got there with the Rangers on the run line. We also had a premium pick winner yesterday with St. Louis in that 10-0 win over Washington. We gave out the over on the show, came in with St. Louis as our play. With the premium picks, we also had a premium pick winner with the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. Their win 4-3 over Milwaukee in extra innings. They walked it off and celebrated on the field with that win. Mets over the Cubs. It was also Cleveland shut out Philadelphia. Someone had to do it with Williams pitching there in that one. Also, Kansas City walked it off, right? We had them here on the show yesterday, and it took extra innings, 2-1. It was 0-0 in the 9th inning. It was 0-0 in the 10th inning. It was 0-0 in the 11th inning. And then the Red Sox scored a run, but Kansas City scored 2. And that's the way it kind of works with the funky rules there in baseball. But we did have Kansas City here on the show. Yesterday, White Sox over the Marlins as well. We had also yesterday winner here on the show with Baltimore Orioles. We took them in that game, remember, over LA 4-1 yesterday. And winner here on the show also. How about this one? Dodgers, Arizona. The Dodgers with 6 runs in the 9th inning went on to beat Arizona 14-11. We gave out the over here on the show yesterday in that one. It looked like Arizona was going to get a victory over these. Hey, let's kick it off with a little steam here right now, and why not? The game between San Diego and Colorado, the Padres only racked up a huge number yesterday with a 13-9 win. It was not as close as the score indicated. The Padres have already been steamed this morning with pitcher Kolek here, who was good in his first start, and the steam just came in on the over in this one with San Diego and Colorado. We're seeing the steam right now. Move on in here with the over, and the total's going up here to 12 right now. It looks like at a lot of spots, steam coming into the over in that one. Also, late night there yesterday, we did have a premium pick winner on the Toronto Raptors. So, yeah, I took Toronto yesterday over Seattle in that 6-3 victory. All right, we'll say hello to a few more folks here and then get ready to start our previews. Again, man, we got to wait for so long just to get the baseball games going. All right. Terrell says go Boston and Boston today. 9 Legacy just missed on a $20,000 $2,000 15 leg run line parlay. Can you believe it? And think of all the money you could have won if you didn't parlay it, but instead you just. But that's okay. 9 Legacies of Bala here, and Textiles talking about that earthquake there. I think we did hear about. I did see some comments about that in social media. I couldn't believe it, so I was wondering what they were talking about. I didn't know if they were talking about the SEC baseball series here down there this weekend, or what. Maybe it was Vanderbilt Commodores down there, or where I think they're in Athens this week, but the earthquake in Atlanta. Or in Georgia, talking about it. They don't do it too often down there, but they did confirm an earthquake here this morning in Georgia. How about that? I know all about those earthquakes. Knicks will bring out the broom, says NYC Bar. He's got the Knicks to keep on rolling. Some steam just coming in here again right now. If I can mention it here. Pardon me, guys. In the game here between Cincinnati and Houston, we're seeing some steam here this morning in this one. But the under here with Singer going up against McCullers in that one. Cincinnati and Houston, steam here this morning to the under after we saw yesterday the definite under in that game with Martinez and Brown, as Houston was able to get the job done in the end in a 3-0 shutout as Hunter Brown continued to roll there a little bit. All right, a few more here. And let's see here. Crib Key says, wow, he felt it too. Everyone's talking the big earthquake. Jim Duweiger, Knicks first quarter money line. He's ready to go. And I think that's it from the crew. I haven't felt an earthquake in a long time, and I'm from Southern California. All right. Think we're ready to go here a little bit. I'm ready anyway. Thank you for joining me here on the show, and let's get going with our playoff action because we've got a big day here of games. We just saw Marcus Giron win over Taylor Fritz. I said to go with Giron. I did play the handicap line there at plus 4.5 games as a premium pick, but we had Giron, a pretty big dog there, over Taylor Fritz. And he gets the win in that one. I've got several more games on my premium tennis here today as I've opened up my card here officially, I think, for the Italian Open this weekend. It's been going on here for a few days for sure right now, and we've got more action going on right now. Here we go. Let's go to our playoffs here. And Tex says he's ready for Shelton versus Munar. Says Tex. See how Ben does in that one. All right, let's get to it here right now and get going with our NBA coverage here first. And I've got the game leading us off here with the Knickerbockers hosting the Celtics. And you guys said it, the Celtics here favored on the road by 5.5 or so. The total is up now to, wow, 207.5. What has gotten into the Knicks and the Celtics? I thought these guys were supposed to be playing games down in the 200s here right now, but all of a sudden, things have changed a little bit, especially with the Knicks here leading the series, right? 2-0. And in fact, the Knicks, yes, they've improved their defense kind of as the year went along, almost became kind of a, defensive team for the most part. We know they can cook it up a little bit and move the ball around. We know the Celtics also can go Drano if they could figure out how to make their three-pointers again. They seem to have lost their touch a little bit right now, the way things are going here in this series, but still have the Knicks here favored to win in this one over New York, and still the Knicks here at home, right? I mean, you figure I don't know if this would be the line if it was the regular season right now, especially the way the Knicks performed this year. It does feel like because the pressure's on the Celtics. I said that last game, though, and talked about how because the pressure was on the Celtics, maybe the line was a little bit higher when they were at home. Remember, we've been on the Knicks here in this series so far, and can I do it again with the Knicks here today? I feel like I want to. Look, Celtics are desperate to win. They have to win, really. You don't want to go down 3-0, of course, in an NBA playoff series. So that's where the pressure lies here on the Celtics and Tatum. It's funny how the Knicks, they seem to don't play very well to start off, or maybe the Celtics are getting off to good starts, and then the Knicks just kind of wear them down, if you will. And that is really the interesting thing in the whole matter. It feels like. So this one's at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on ABC, and can't wait to get going here. We got a while to wait. And the day games are, like I said, the early games are kind of over here a little bit. We do have a nice Saturday matinee here to go with the Celtics and the Knicks. How are you playing it today in this one? The Celtics still have won 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams coming into this one, and New York is just 1-5 against Boston in their last 6 games at home against the Celtics. So, well, if we're talking road series here, maybe that's where we're going here with these road teams kind of playing. Hey, that's what you get in the playoffs, right? And we see, I don't know what it is about the playoffs, right? Even you look at yesterday's game with Cleveland and Indiana, teams, not just that game, but a couple other games, right? Teams get off to 11-0 run to start, 8-0 run to start, and you get a bizarre low scoring game here, and just really interesting results here in the postseason. But go ahead in the chat. Let's see what you've got here in this one. I'm taking the Knicks again. Come on, at least with the points here today. Yes, the Celtics are going to be hard trying. We saw, I don't want to compare it to Cleveland getting that big win on the road in kind of dominating fashion. That's what the Celtics need here. But remember, Cleveland had injured players to start, right? And then they got their 3 key players back. Even if you say, hey, their stars weren't, well, Mobley's kind of a star. And talked about Garland there in the chat, right? So they were able to get their players back. The Celtics, I don't think they're too injured necessarily coming in. It's just been the Knicks kind of have a pretty good read on them. Hauser is doubtful, though, in today's game. A little bit of a tick on the Celtics side there, but still leading. Let me go to the chat, see what you guys have in this one between Boston and New York here today. All right. And we're going to start off with Tex here. Let's see, I don't know, over 22.5 games in the Shelton
Final.
Cash Kane is going to start us off here, and he's on Boston. NYC Bar likes the Knicks plus points. And Doge says he's got the Knicks at plus money, tuck over in the game as well. Nuke says the Celtics sure to give a good effort. Can they, win the game and cover? Terrell says Tatum can get off to a good start here today. Maybe the pressure is too much for the Knicks, for the Celtics at home. Robert likes the over here today. And Jim says this should be the primetime game after that other series. Looks kind of a bummer there without Curry in there. And here's Celtics against the spread for Ziggy. Dirty Red says he likes my man Evan Mobley. I met the Mobley brothers when they were just young. I don't even know if they were teenagers when I met them. Know their dad. He's an assistant coach right now with SMU. Of course, he was an assistant with USC. Basically, he was, hey, I'll bring my kids, Eric Mobley, my man, said, I'll bring my kids to USC, and if I can get a job there, he didn't need a job. I mean, he was a law enforcement man, my friend Eric, and his sons, and I met him when they were, I want to say they were, 11 and 13, was something like 11, 12, whatever. So pretty big fans of the Mobley brothers. Dirty Red says Evan Mobley's vital. All right. Crip Key there. Good morning to Mikey Money in the chat. He's up and ready, and he's up and ready to go here. We're 9 hours away from UFC action tonight. Nine Legacy says the Celtics get a double-digit win tonight. Andrew G is here. Michael says Knicks play better on the road. Take the Celtics plus the spread. Knicks were just 20-19 against the spread at home this season. See here. A lot of graduations there today, and I think that's it from you guys in the chat in this one. And I'm going to take the New York Knicks plus those points. Yeah, Celtics could win. Let's hope they make a series of this, I guess, unless you're on the Knicks and this 2-0 lead. Like I said, get that 3-0 lead. We know what happens in the NBA. And Tex also liking the over here in this one. Thanks, you guys. I'll take the Knicks in this one. And good morning to Keith Just Truth. Let's get next one going here right now. And we know where we stand in this one. Well, the series is tied after all with 1-1. But we know the momentum has shifted dramatically to the Timberwolves here with Steph Curry out of the lineup. You got Jimmy Butler, who, he's not a leader. I mean, we know why this man, and look, he's had success in his career, can have a huge impact on the game at any moment, but he also can tune it out with the best of them. And it feels like that's what we've got here with Butler and the Warriors. Now they are at home here, so maybe they can kind of perk up a little bit and stay in this one as an underdog here against Minnesota now without Curry. The Warriors have won 9 straight home games without Steph Curry in the lineup now. Regular season a little bit different than the postseason for sure, and that's not just some 1 year sample size. It's been just a handful of times, really, over the last couple of years that they've faced that situation, but not maybe against a team that is expected to maybe compete for the conference championship now. Even though the series is tied at 1-1, Minnesota has gone just 1-4 against the spread against the Timberwolves in their last 5 games against them overall, of course, including uh, game number 1, which was won by the Warriors. Remember, we're talking about these funky games. Remember, it was 99-88 in that one, and well. The total here is down there at 200, even though last game went well over 200 in Minnesota in the blowout win for the Timberwolves. Maybe back here now could be a little bit different in San Francisco. So 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over. So let's see what you guys have here with Minnesota and Golden State and talking about Steph Curry. When could he or will he come back from this hamstring strain? You still got to play with the lingering effects, if you will, that it could, re-injure itself at any time. So uh, maybe just maybe here you're looking at a situation that you just wait until you just can't wait anymore. It feels like there. We just did bring home a winner here once again at the Italian Open with Bublik over Casper Ruud. We told you with our premium picks today, we liked Bublik plus the games plus 4.5, and Ruud did win the match in 3 with a 6-3 victory in the third set. Bublik did cover the game spread by a game and a half. There is in this one pretty much all the way until the very end. All right, here come your plays now in the chat in this one. And, good thing. Oh, thank you, Nuke. Why didn't I have the line up there? We know the Wolves are favored here. In fact, I just want to mention that also the Celtics have moved to a 6-point favorite here at some of the shops right now. In this one, I think we could safely say the Wolves are a 5-point favorite, and the total is 200.5. And I'm going over in both games today. As my plays here on the morning steam. I'm going over here with Minnesota. I'm on the Knicks, I said in the other game, of course. Whoops. But Minnesota and Golden State, I'm going over in this one today. Let's see how you guys have it. And we're going to start it off here with Textile. Oh, no, I think he might be talking the New York Knicks game there, maybe. And Ziggy also talking. I think he's talking the Boston game there. Yep, because it says the same scenario. Hey everyone, like the show here. Doge, there we go. Doge is gonna start us off here. In fact, he's going to go with a little bit of an alternate universe here with the Wolves. Robert likes the under. Curry's no chance, says Nuke. You got no Curry. You got no chance, says Nuke here in this one. Cash Kane says, be careful with the over in the Celtics game. The Celtics could blow them out.
Final.
And with KP back in the lineup, he might be able to drain him. There's Nuke. I don't know why I didn't have the spread on there, huh? And Terrell says this is a problem here for the Warriors now as the Timberwolves. It looks like almost the Wolves might have the best player at each position on the floor here right now, especially with Butler kind of checked out right now, it feels like. Cash King likes the under here, and NYC Bar likes the Wolves on the money line. Nine Legacy says Wolves win and they cover. Kripke on his hockey there. Thank you for stopping by. He likes the Canes and the Oilers tonight. Kane says the Wolves actually play better on the road. Yeah, they were 22-19 against the spread on the road. Remember, it's the same thing we talked about in the last series, when they were in Minnesota, because Golden State actually is a little bit better on the road too. Golden State 17-22 against the spread at home this season. Siggy though does like the Warriors to get it done. Nas Reed, pretty popular pick here today. I'll just say and give Keith just truth credit for his pick, and he's got Green over 5.5 assists. Green, of course, singled out by officials and by other players. This man cannot buy a break. This poor guy goes out there and tries real hard, but everyone picks on him like a bully, and he ends up really very mad. He's a very mad player. He gets very upset, and it's because everyone is out to get this person. There's no other player in the NBA that people like to stick it to than Draymond Green, who looks like an absolute moron out there half the time. How can your family, your kids, and your commercial even respect you when no one else acts like this man in the league? Sure, there are some bullies out there, there's some thugs in a way out there, but this man, for whatever reason, it's of course not his fault. It's the fact that everyone in the world is against this guy, a conspiracy theory from the other 29 teams, the officials, the commissioner, everything. This man, please, let's just stop bullying this man so much and let this man play his basketball game in peace here, Draymond Green. Here's Nuke. He likes the Wolves against the spread. And Nixon 5 says Doge. And Draymond says, Terrell says, Draymond, he says there is no, he's kind of saying that it's Draymond. No, Terrell, this is not, and here Terrell is just like the whole world. They're all picking on Draymond. Stop it, Terrell. Textiles is on the T-Wolves here. And Ziggy says it'll be the same thing. Was it 4.1, Jerry? And the Wolves, thank you, NYC Bar. Look, I've turned up. We've got to have our consensus here. The Wolves are a consensus, but thank you, NYC Bar. We didn't have one in the other game, right? See, I forget even the first game to start to pay attention without Thomas, you guys. All right, and Kathleen says T-Wolves money line, Warriors first half. I'm watching Paolini here going up against Owens Jabeur right now. Soccer action ready to go here. We're almost set to go in English Premier League right now. Get ready for our action today. All right. And final. That's going to do it for the NBA. Let's roll to the NHL right now. Get ready for our coverage here of our two games for today. All right, let's go with it. I'm going to start it off here. And again, why don't I? Okay, obviously I didn't type the lines in. I did for the first game, but I didn't even do it for the hockey here. What's going on? All right, I'm going to call it $2 here for the Hurricanes. I think we can call it $2 and total 5.5. There we go. There we go. And we've got Logan Thompson. Lindgren, look, if there is a problem, I think Lindgren, I just saw it. Lindgren here with the questionable status here today. The backup, I'll just say it like that. I don't think it's a real big problem, but Lindgren is questionable here with a personal issue in the game here. But we know that will be Logan Thompson in there, of course, but still, their backup looks like could be unavailable actually here today. System play. And for the Hurricanes, Freddie Anderson here in this one. You got a Carolina Hurricanes team, a big $2 favorite over Washington. Series tied 1-1, and that's a pretty big price considering. I don't know if you know this, but the Washington Capitals had the second best record in the league this season. They were the top team in the Eastern Conference. Carolina Hurricanes, they might have a little bit more postseason experience, maybe a little more overall success over the last couple of years. And, well, I guess they just kind of look at this Washington team as kind of like it was a fluke. They had a superstar, set a all-time goal scoring record that maybe the team just focused on trying to help their player get the record. They weren't even worried about winning. They were more worried about the getting the scoring record for Obi. Now that's not true. I'm just trying to find excuses to figure out why this Hurricanes team would be a $2 favorite here in this one. They're at home. I get that. And they're a good team. Jankowski is questionable in this one. I don't know if we even know why, right? It says undisclosed here for the Carolina center. But look, they've got other top players we know on Carolina. Washington, not too bad either. Washington has lost 5 of the last 6 meetings at Carolina on the road. So there is that. Maybe a little bit of advantage on the heads up here with the Hurricanes, but I don't know, man. I'm going to at least grab Washington on the puck line with it up here as high as $2. It isn't an awful price. You even could grab them on the money line here at plus $1.75 or whatever it is. Washington is plus 1.5, minus 150 on the puck line. I know a lot of people kind of shade away from the puck lines in the playoffs because of the strong likelihood of an empty netter, but remember, we're getting a pretty low score here, and we could see, overtime. That's kind of why you take these puck lines in the playoffs, because the possibility of overtime is sometimes more likely than a regular season game. So let's go to the chat, though, and see how you guys are going to play this one. Washington and Carolina here today. And again, in this one, we're looking at afternoon starts. This is at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific tonight. All right, go to the chat right now, and here come the picks in the hockey with Lego World. Nice to see Lego World here today. Cash Cane likes Carolina money line and the over here. Philly Eagle Flyer here likes Capitals money line, first period and full game draws. Terrell says, what was my pick for Golden State? I went with the over. I got to go over 200, 201, whatever it is. I'm going to go over with that one. Capitals on the money line and the under. Nuke is always telling us the line here. It says it's also up to 210 here at some spots. 9 Legacy says Washington Capitals money line, Edmonton Oilers puck line are his plays tonight. And Cash Kane says maybe the one thing here, Ramon, is that the Washington Capitals just weren't that good on the road. They weren't bad on the road, I know that, but then again, they were a pretty good team all season. Andrew says there, that price. Robert likes the under here in this one. That's what I've been saying about this series a little bit, right? Is what the Canes do is puck control. They're a pretty physical team, and look at the scores they've had kind of in the playoffs here, right? And that's kind of what it feels like. And Robert McCormick likes the Capitals here on that puck line. Lego World says the Capitals are going to come back here and right now they kind of trail the series in a way, right, because of the current 1-1 status here with Washington having lost one at home. Hurricanes for Doge here. And maybe Cash Kane might be interested in that puck line. So is Ziggy here. NYC Bar, though, says take the Hurricanes in this one. Jim says Hurricanes first period over. And Nuke is on the Caps on the money line in this one. Just too high of a price, he said. And Michael Jimenez also on the Capitals. Jermaine's here this morning. Hello. All right. Look, both teams have been, outstanding so far. We saw Washington kind of dominate Montreal there when everybody wanted to give Montreal a chance. And, of course, Carolina easily cruised past New Jersey. So they're both here, having won 5 of their last 7 games overall. And these two teams are combined so far in the postseason 4-10 to the under. Both teams 2-5 to the under so far. Now I will note Washington's 2 over games did come on the road. So that's something to consider as well. Let's see. That might be it from you guys in the chat. I'm on the Washington Capitals here against Carolina. I'm on the Washington Capitals pretty much in the Eastern Conference. I need the Washington Capital. I'm not going to back down. I'm not necessarily, just sticking with them because that's kind of my futures plays a little bit, at least the way like I said, I probably had too many futures in the NHL when it all said and done, but the way the things are shaking out right now with all of my bets here, I pretty much need the Washington Capitals. I will say this, it does look like right now, as far as this total is concerned, and I'll let you guys decide, like I said, Carolina, they like to, get down and grind it out a little bit. But it does look like it's one of those where the public here, believe it or not, might be shading under, and maybe the Sharps are actually on the over. But I'm going to take Washington here as my play on the puck line. All right, NYC Bar said Capitals were a consensus play here, believe it or not. Yeah, we didn't see many on the Hurricanes. NYC Bar was on the Hurricanes. So he shows he's doing a good, honest job there. But remember, Doge was on the Hurricanes as well. But man, that might have been it, right? Cash Kane was on the Hurricanes as well, but maybe it was mostly on Washington. So okay, appreciate that. Let's go to the later game now and take a look at the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers here. And the Oilers dominating the series. It feels like Vegas got old and slow real quick here, and all of a sudden Edmonton has a lot of momentum and they're back at home after winning 2 games on the road. Could we see a sweep? There's some sentiment that maybe Vegas gets back on the road, gets back on track, but it does look like a Class A team, and Vegas looks like they've fallen to B plus here right now with the way they looked in those games. Yeah, there was some excitement for sure, and Vegas has hung in there for a good portion of the game there in the 5-4 loss last time out. But remember, Edmonton kind of controlled the first game, and now Edmonton all of a sudden has won 4 straight meetings between the two teams, including these 2 playoff games. They also won the last 2 regular season meetings between the teams. So you do have Vegas here 2-4 on the road against Edmonton in their last 6 trips up to Alberta. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. It feels like Edmonton is maybe the hottest team in the playoffs here currently. And they are. Where's the line? Where's the line? All right. The Oilers here are about $1.25 or so right now, and the total is monstrous 6.5 over at. I'll put minus $1.25 because maybe the sharp books are still willing to hang that price on the game, but it feels like the square books and other books are 6.5 over 30, over 35. We even saw last night the total touch 7 under, and then it was immediately brought back down. But there were a few books that started hanging their main line at 7 here. So, look, I think the Sharps are still going to favor the Golden Knights here, but man, it's hard to see where they would get it from here at this point. They just have not been performing well enough right now. Now, Dorofeyev is back in here today. We just saw. No, he's questionable. I'm afraid. I thought he was coming back, but I think right now Dorofeyev is still listed as questionable, despite the fact that it felt like everyone was saying that he would be ready and back for this game. So I guess a little bit of a status there to be determined with Dorofeyev in this matchup. Okay. Let's go to the chat here right now. Vegas, they weren't an underdog too often this year, but when they were 6-9. I have them this year when they were an underdog. So they were also, pretty strong as a puck line underdog, but not right now. It seems like in that role they haven't been too good, but didn't happen often enough maybe to consider, especially in a matchup like this where you still have to lay a massive price if you wanted to take that Golden Knights puck line. Let's go to the chat though here. I'm on the over. I'm on the over in this one. Vegas and Edmonton, I think I learned my lesson here. And we're seeing goals aplenty so far. Although the first game that wasn't under, but the 9 goals yesterday. And I don't know. I just feel like Vegas is not playing strong enough defensively here. Here we go right now with some of the picks here. And Cash Kane was on the Capitals on the puck line now because of the price there. Cash Kane also Vegas puck line. Keith says, "Hey, I went 2-1 with those baseball picks yesterday, on the happy hour show over there with the." Florida State getting that win, Houston getting that win. Also, we did have that WNBA over as well. Pretty easy win there. NYC Bar is on the Oilers. And Cash Kane says he just got the Oilers by 1 here. Lego World, Oilers and under. Doge says, you saw that play late in the game with that no call, and that just seemed to end any momentum that Vegas had. The guys were talking about it yesterday there with Mikey and Andrew talking about the late in the game. Jim likes it 1-1 after 1. Nuke says Oilers just too much momentum here. And the Oilers are too fast all of a sudden. The Golden Knights. Cash Kane, though, says the Knights are going to be better on the road right now. And because they weren't they were okay on the, but again, the Knights, I kind of equated them to one of the best home teams in the league this year. Yes, the Kings had that great record, but I think what we saw was that the Oilers were also, the Knights also at home, very strong. Ziggy, though, likes the under here. Nuke says Oilers on the puck line here. And Michael Jimenez likes the Knights to get back in it. And we want a series. I do. I'd like to see a series here. A lot of my success is tied into the Knights, and I've kind of given up here a little bit. And if anything, at $1.25, I might be able to get some of my risk back a little bit here. Take a little bit of a loss, but I could hedge out of some stuff a little bit right now with the way Vegas is going in this modest price. But still, it's not about the series price at this point, with Edmonton a huge favorite. So there'd be a little bit of a risk if I did get involved that way. I'll just leave it to my handicap instead and just take the over. Here's what I'm going to do big number here, 6.5 over 25 or more. I'll take the over. You guys are done, it looks like, here. And let's see here. Cash Kane says going against the Knights on the road.
Critical notice.
And Doge says, let's get back here and wave those very intimidating uh, battle towels. The old intimidating battle towels of the Knights. Robert says, wow, it looks like Oilers can score in every period and get a nice return there. And Cash Kane says, let's see what he says. At this point, it doesn't even matter. Vegas is going to play like they're at home, and they are better. I wanted to think that, and again, I pretty much have Vegas and Washington. I'm stuck a little bit. Washington obviously still with a good chance to get him back in this series, but Vegas here just feels like they've lost it. Okay, I'm taking the over though in the late game, and I guess that's it for you guys here. I'll have one premium there with the sports money premiums. Trap God, hello. He says the Oilers will go back to the finals. And again, like I said, talking about Vegas and hedging out, I have mentioned on the show that my first futures bet was actually on Edmonton. So, again, it looks like I'm on every team, and I almost was a little bit there. I believe there's only one team that can win out of the futures bets that I have left. Will even bring me a profit. So, I don't know what I was thinking there. But I will get a little bit of refund back with that. I was one of those guys that when Edmonton, everybody said, "Oh, Edmonton's gonna be a great pick for next year," and I went with them. Okay, let's go to baseball here now, and that's it for the hockey. Thank you, everybody. Let's get right to this card and get rolling with the action here today in the major leagues. And we're got to go all the way to 4:00 Eastern and 1:00 Pacific today to get started in these matchups here with the Braves taking on the Pirates. And the Pirates get the win for their their manager, coach comes in, takes over as manager. So I guess that's how you do it. But let's take a look at this one with AJ Smith gonna shove her here against Pirates and Andrew Haney. Both pitchers have been pretty decent so far this season. Smith Shawver has a 3 ERA in 5 starts, although a 300 BABIP so far this season, and an 11% walk rate. Can't be too comfortable with that one. But for Andrew Haney here, a 3.18 ERA and a 1.1 whip so far. Also a 212 batting average against a 250 BABIP. So pretty respectable numbers for Haney. He actually was off to a pretty good start. Maybe he's given a little bit back here of late, but the numbers would seem to be pretty good so far for Haney. These two pitchers are combined to go 2-9-1 to the under so far this season. The Pirates are averaging just 3.1 runs per game so far, and the Braves, they're averaging 4 runs per game, and they're allowing 4 runs per game exactly so far. Atlanta's won 14 of the last, let's see what they've won here. 14 of the last 21 meetings between the two teams right now. After yesterday's game, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Atlanta's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Pittsburgh's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. And you have these pitchers are totally going under. Now, Haney has had some decent success against this anticipated lineup here today of the Braves. You look at the matchups here for the matchup here with the Pirates and the Braves. And like I said, definitely some decent numbers for some of these guys for Haney against this Braves lineup. You've got Verdugo 1 for 6, Olsen 0 for 2, Harris 0 for 2, but uh, Smith Schauber really hasn't faced this lineup yet. All right, chat, let's go to it. See what you have here in this one with Atlanta and Pittsburgh. The widely reported steam came in on the over. So, I get it, but look at yesterday. Wasn't exactly a monster effort from the offenses, right? In the 3-2 Pittsburgh victory. Like I said, you got two teams that are definitely going under here right now. Pittsburgh, maybe they hit a little bit better at home despite these weak offensive numbers. Chat is coming in here right now. Fulham has scored, I believe, here against Everton as we're underway in the Premier League action here right now. And where is my goal rush here? I need to have multiple games up if we're gonna broadcast. I need to see all the goals that are coming in, including one here right now. I think this is live with Ipswich game here. I think, are we seeing a goal there by Ipswich? I think we are. So Ipswich, I think they're getting a goal here against Brentford right now. Also, yes. Oh, no, it's Brentford with the goal. Okay. Gotta get these games straight here. Oh, they were showing, okay. They switched on me there, and I couldn't see that I was on the wrong game. They were re-showing the Fulham goal. All right, let's look at the picks here from you guys. Here, Pirates money line again says Nine Legacy. They're at home. Pirates money line here. Ziggy's on the under. How can you not be on the under? It feels like the way we talked about it there. All right, we got a Nerfy here for Philly Eagle Flyer. We got Fernando on the Nats. He's already ahead of us. Cash Kane says take the Braves money line, and Justin will be at the game today watching his Pirates there, but he's going to take the Braves. And remember, Justin gets to see. Or wait, is it? Justin's a Braves fan in Pittsburgh. Oh man, I should know. This is Justin's game. Atlanta and Pittsburgh is like that's the game that Justin, if I'm not mistaken, that's like all of his world right there a little bit when those two teams meet. His baseball favorites. It feels like Fernando's on the over. Sorry if I didn't get that wrong, Justin. I've only been following you a couple of years. I should know. Here's Doge here, Braves run line, and Michael Jimenez says, "How about over in the first 5?" Irish King first 5, Atlanta first 5, and team total over. All right, for me, let me make sure here. I think I've already made the call. I don't know if I can. I get distracted when they're interviewing Danielle on TV after the match. Okay, what is that price on the Braves, and what did I have on screen here? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go with the under as my play here on the show. I think I already spilled the beans a little bit, and I better just stick with it right now. And if anything, like I said, that total has gone up here, and we're definitely looking at 9s. But the Braves are up to about $1.50. That's all right. Okay. Braves $1.50, total 9, maybe even a little bit juice to the over. That's it on this one. You guys are done, and I'll take the under though for sure. Cardinals and Nationals here, and we were able to get the big victory there yesterday with the Cardinals. It was only 10-0 as the Cardinals won over the Nationals. Got Trevor Williams here going in this one for Washington. He's got 5.86 ERA and a 3.63 BABIP. He's been pretty bad, actually, so far this season. For Palante, he's been up and down. He's had some okay performances for sure. He's got a 4.75 ERA and a 2.87 BABIP. Doesn't strike out a lot of hitters, but St. Louis is on a roll here right now with one of the best winning streaks for sure in the league. They've won 6 straight. They've also defeated Washington in 7 of their last 10 games overall. St. Louis has gone over in 7 of their last 9. They haven't been great on the road so far this season, just 5-13, but just want to pass along right now that Carolina is taking more action here. We're seeing right now Bet Online has moved the Carolina Hurricanes to 230 here at this point now. Again, I don't know, not much injury related here, but Carolina, man, 230 right now. Also at DraftKings, 230, starting to look like 230 here in Vegas. Even the Circa is up to 222, and man, this thing's going to 235 at some spots here across the country. Big time steam here on Carolina right now against Washington. Wow. All right, we'll continue on with this one here. The Cardinals, they are pretty hot here at this point. Now, 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Washington's gone over in 6 straight at home. 4 of the last 5 here have gone over. Washington's gone over in 5 of their last 6, and St. Louis has gone over in 7 of their last 9 overall. These two teams are combined 43 and 33 to the over this season. St. Louis 11 and 6 to the over on the road, and Washington 13 and 7 to the over at home. A lot of runs expected here. Now, Washington has had some modest success against Palante, the batters in this lineup. You've got here C.J. Abrams, a perfect 3 for 3. Garcia's got a couple of hits. Lowe has a hit as well. And Cardinals, they've got a few batters that have done okay here against Williams. You got Nutbar, 3 for 4. Donovan, 2 for 6. So, some offense here from these guys. Let's see how you want to play it in this one with St. Louis and Washington here today in the nation's capital. And again, we're on the 4 o'clock games here right now. Let's go to the chat in this one, see how you got it. With Cardinals on the run line for 9 Legacy. Ziggy's on the Nationals. Cash Kane, Nationals first 5. And Keith says you got to go over. Don't forget how bad Washington's bullpen is, and St. Louis isn't that same bullpen, right? As we know from the past, it feels like so. But man, I look. St. Louis got the blast there. It felt like yesterday, and that was a pretty confident win. And look, St. Louis is obviously a little better right now at 20 and 19. They've got the winning streak. This one feels a little bit tough right now. Man, I kind of want to take this dog, but I just keep going back to the bummer performance yesterday by Washington. And we know they're not great for sure. But all right, let's see how I got to make my call here in this one. The old algorithm here is telling me that Washington is my side. So I'll take Washington here at and there's Cardinals over here for Justin. All right. I'll take Washington here. It could be a little bit of volatility. Give me the Nats to get one here. Look, they've moved to, let's see, what do I have there? Cardinals 115 on the screen. And yeah, they're still 115. All right. I'm on the slight dog here. Cardinals team total over for Michael. But I think you guys know what my premium there is, and I'll have the premiums today for sure. Let's go to the Yankees now, taking on the A's. After we saw the Yankees just rub them yesterday, they absolutely crushed the A's and left no room to breathe, really, in the blowout win for the Yankees. Aaron Judge, uh, we know he is, from that area. But he's been back to. Certainly, he's played in San Francisco. He's played in Oakland, but really his home is closer to Sacramento. So, he looked pretty good, but the Yankees looked good yesterday, 10-2 over the A's. So the smackdown was on here. It was just a few days ago that the A's had the better record than the Yankees, but now the Yankees have won 3 straight, and Oakland's lost 3 straight after the 10-2 win there yesterday. Now, the Yankees definitely have seen uh, Sears before and have had some good success against Sears. Uh, Players such as Goldie, 3 for 6 with a homer. Cabrera, 4 for 9 with a homer. Judge, 2 for 6 with a homer off of J.P. Sears, the former Yankee, although he's been with the Athletics most of the time. Got some A's with some success against Rodon, Urias, 3 for 4. Langoliers, 2 for 5 as well. And Andujar has a home run off of him. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one with the Yankees taking on the A's here today. And the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Only kind of sticks out because Yankees scored so many runs yesterday, and the total is actually now 10, even though the move came in on the under, the total is actually about 10. Might be 10 under. No, it's 10 over. 10 over, I'll call it 10 over 15, but I see 10 over 20 out there in a few spots right now. So let's take a look here. Yankees are $1.50 or higher here. They're kind of climbing up right now. The move is not on Oakland. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you have here in this one. Yankees have won 6 straight games on the road against the A's. If I said Oakland in there a couple of times, I am sorry. I'm not that guy, but it is hard to shake that a little bit. All right, and we'll start it off with NYC Bar. Yankees in the under. Here's Ziggy on the Yankees today. Justin likes the Yankees team total over. Fernando says it looks like another over to him. I will say this. I mean, while we're in Oakland, these games, they seem like it's pretty easy to hit the ball out here. Oakland at home so far, 12-7 to the over. But to me, I'm still kind of looking at, right, you have Rodon, 2.96 ERA, 183 BABIP, really some of the best numbers in the league so far for Carlos Rodon. And J.P. Sears also, 2.92 ERA, 222 batting average against, and a whip of 1 flat. He's been good as well, even though these teams, with the Yankees averaging 5.7 runs per game and the A's allowing 5.1 runs per game. Should be noted these two pitchers are combined 4-10-1 to the under. Yankees on the run line for 9 legacy. Robert likes these Yankees to get it done. Here is Fernando, Yankees team total over. Keith, just truth, says the weather would indicate we're going to get some heat there today in West Sacramento, and that maybe that will lead to more runs again. At first it was, or I think right now they're said these road games have been a little bit more higher scoring than the home games. The home games for the A's. Let me see here. There we go. The weather today is 93 degrees with the wind blowing out to center field 6 to 8 miles per hour. Anyways, I'm sorry, the day games are the ones. They're still Oakland denying legacy, right? They should have put the Sacramento name on. I don't know. Remember what I said about the A's? Everybody says, "Will they change their name?" Whatever. But remember, they were the Philadelphia Athletics. They were the Kansas City Athletics. They were the Oakland Athletics. So athletics, how they get around, I guess. Michael Jimenez likes the Yankees team total over. So I think we're dealing, with two good pitchers, is what it feels like for me today. And it does feel like, again, I've got the old I'm going to veto over here the algorithm. I got to take the Yankees here right now. Did after last night, did feel like I was on the A's run line, and I don't want to do it again. I think it was too easy for the Yankees. I think Sears in there does give them some hope. Like I said, these two pitchers do seem to be pretty effective so far this season. I'm going to take the Yankees here just on the money line. I'll take a favorite here. What is what is the run line price? You're not going to sit there and take the Yankees and not go on the run line here. I'm gonna change that. Give me the Yankees on the run line in this one at -1.5 at even money. All right, shouldn't put too much stock into that game last night, but I'm gonna. All right, Brewers and Rays here in this one with the Brewers on the road here at underdog Tampa Bay, $1.30 in the total, 9.5 under 15. It feels like right now. I'm going to update that line. Feels like the Rays have actually taken a little bit of action here in this one. And I don't know. Yes, the Rays won yesterday, but I don't know, with Myers in there going up against Taj Bradley. You got Myers so far, a 3.65 ERA, just 3 starts so far this season. He doesn't run that deep, but 275 BABIP and a 245 batting average against. Now, he does have a 1.5 WHIP coming into this one for Bradley. He's 3-2 with a 4.43 ERA. Bradley's gone 4-1-2 to the over. He's got a 242 batting average against, a 270 BABIP. Kind of similar numbers for these guys so far this season. For the Brewers here, they've lost 9 of their last 13 games on the road. Coming into this one, Tampa Bay, however, just 1-7 in their last 8 games at home right now. They're struggling in this park, but they were able to get that walk-off win yesterday, 4-3 for that win for Tampa. And let's see what you guys are going to do here. 11 of the last 15 games between these two teams in Tampa Bay have gone under. Milwaukee's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Tampa Bay's gone under in 9 of their last 13. However, the widely reported steam did come in on the over here. And because of that, we've seen this number trickle higher to 9.5. So let's see what you guys have here today with Milwaukee taking on Tampa Bay in this one. All right, I'm going to the chat, and here we go. Brewers on the money line here for Ziggy. Likes Milwaukee today. Hello to Stop Geo here right now. We have some Major League Baseball steam coming in. It's on our next game, so I'll just mention it right now. Texas and Detroit with a good pitching matchup. DeGrom and Flaherty. Steam is coming in on the under here right now, and looks like we're going to be going down to 7 if we weren't already between Texas and Detroit. Here's Devil Rays on Devil Ray and Legacy throwing back the clock there with those uniforms too, right? Here, Keith said, "Hey, like this video, everybody. Thank you." Robert likes the over here. He likes that steam right now. Timothy Hawk is here. He likes under and he likes the Rays tonight. Here in this one. All right, I'm going to take actually the Milwaukee Brewers here in this matchup. I'm taking the Brewers to win this one as an underdog on the road. Give me Milwaukee today. And let's see here, Robert talking about that. Remember, we talked about those Tampa Bay weather conditions, right? And how the wind kind of blows out to right field. And right now it's blowing out to center field or so, but 12 to 15 miles an hour and warm conditions kind of sets it up maybe for a over there today. That's what the sharps were talking about, I think, with that steam. Michael Jimenez likes the first 5 over here. Now, there's no doubt the trends would indicate, the trends do point maybe to the under between these two, but that is warm and windy conditions for sure. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now with our next game is there it is, Rangers and Tigers. Let's see what the line is here right now. That steam just came in, and maybe we'll call it 7 over 25. I don't know if it's moved that heavily here in the matchup with this total moving to the under. Now, I will say the Tigers have moved to the favorite in this game. Maybe they're the $1.15 or less favorite, but still, it does look like we've shifted favorites here between the Rangers and the Tigers here today. Both these pitchers have had pretty good success against the anticipated lineup here this afternoon. You look at the Tigers against DeGrom. He's only faced a couple of guys, actually. Torres over 2, McKinstry over 3. But for Flaherty, he is Semien 2 for 6 against Flaherty, but a lot of these guys have overs. Seager 0 for 4, Heim 0 for 5, Garcia 0 for 3, Josh Smith 0 for 5. One more move here coming in right now. We'll get right back to this game. But Baltimore and the Angels are seeing some steam to the over at 9.5. We're starting to see some 10 unders here right now. It looks like between Baltimore and LA at a few locales. Steam coming in on the over here with Baltimore and the Angels here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, though we're talking Texas and the Rangers here with the two teams that the Rangers, we know they've had success. This offense is trying to get loose here a little bit. They're averaging just 3.2 runs per game. Let me get one more move here to you right now. I want to keep you updated on this steam. Toronto and Seattle. We're seeing steam to the over here in Seattle after we saw some runs last night there. Right now it is moving up here, 8 over 20, could be even 8.5 under. We don't see that too often in Seattle, but steam is coming in right now on Toronto and Seattle. Mostly 8 over right now, but it was 8 flat, and we're starting to see it get heavily juiced to the over right now on that one, Toronto and Seattle. All right, now the Tigers come in as one of the hottest teams currently in the league for sure. They are on a winning streak, and meanwhile, Texas has lost 3 straight. Detroit with a 5-game winning streak. Texas has also lost 7 of their last 9. Texas has gone under in 8 of their last 9 games on the road. Detroit's gone under in 6 straight games at home. Although Detroit has gone over in 9 of their last 11 overall. They were on the road with some overs. Let's see how you have it here. 2 good starters, it feels like, with DeGrom, a 2.61 ERA and a 2.09 batting average against. He's looked good in his starts, 7 starts so far this season. For Flaherty, decent numbers for Flaherty, 3.79 ERA, 1.18 whip, but the Tigers, for all their success this season, they are 26-13, right? With Flaherty on the mound, they're 1-6. Basically, half their losses, just shy of half, but you know what I mean. have come with Flaherty on the mound. Does that do anything for you? Let's go to the chat and see here. Can Texas end this losing streak right now and stop the Tigers' hot momentum? Tigers are 14-3 at home so far this season. Texas is 6-13 on the road. Here we go. With Justin does like the Rangers still here to get it done. And Ziggy likes that under. Cash Kane is on the Rangers here. And hello to Old E today. Nice to see you.
Critical notice.
But Fernando here is on the under. Jim Duweiger likes the Tigers on the run line. A little bit of a good return there for sure with this close matchup. 9 Legacy likes Tigers money line. Fernando on the Tigers as well. Looks like a little bit of Tigers momentum here. Fernando says it'll be another close one. Yesterday, I should mention, it was just 2-1 yesterday. The Tigers getting that win over Texas. I don't know if we mentioned that one on the show there, did we? On the intro there? Oh yeah, we did, because we had the Rangers on the run line. And Keith, just truth. Rangers are not good, he says. He's got the Tigers reverse run line here. And Andrew says, go Tigers. Rangers money line for Jimenez says DeGrom over to strikeouts and go under in this one. Billy Eagle Flyers on a nerfy. I'm on the Tigers here as my play. Give me Detroit over Texas today. Again, I think it's that, they got DeGrom, but I think Detroit has a good counter punch with Flaherty. Maybe not quite as good a numbers so far as DeGrom, and he does have those losses at home, but still Detroit, man, 14-3 at home. Now they are favored, 18-14 as a favorite. Rangers just 6-15 as an underdog. Robert likes the over in this one. Next up, the Phillies are taking on the Guardians, and the Guardians shut out the Phillies yesterday, 6-0 to cool them down. But who's hot? The Cleveland Guardians are hot. In fact, they have a better record than Philly coming in. Philly 22-16. Cleveland 23-18. With Cleveland coming in with a 3-game winning streak here right now. Been a pretty good job here by Cleveland, and they've got Tanner Bybee going in this one. He's up against Ranger Suarez, making his second start of the season, and did not look great in that first effort for sure, but you just got to chalk it up that Ranger just getting going here for Bybee. He is 3-2, but the Guardians are 5-2 in Bybee's starts so far this season. Bybee has some good numbers against some of these Phillies bats, that's for sure. You look overall at the matchup here tonight, and Bybee has mowed some of these guys down. Real Muto 0-3, Castellanos 0-3, Harper 0-3, Schwartz 0-3, Stott 0-3, Kepler 4-16. But Suarez here, he's gotten hit by a couple of these guys. Ramirez is 3-3. We saw Ramirez last night. Santana 2-5 against him here. And let's see what you guys have in this one with Philadelphia taking on Cleveland here. We're now into the group of games here. Should have mentioned the last one, 6:10 Eastern, 3:10 Pacific overall. Philly's gone just 2-8 in their last 10 games here at Cleveland. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Philadelphia, though, coming in hot. They still won 9 of their last 12 overall, but Cleveland also performing well here at this point. It does feel like one of those sharp games where maybe the money, let me take a look at that. 2/3 of the action on Philly here. They're $1.20, $1.25 on the road, and the total is 7.5 and heavily juiced here. Paolini has just won her match. Southampton tied at 0 here at halftime, and their matchup. We've reached halftime in these English Premier League games. Southampton and Man City no score. Brighton did get a goal against Wolves. All right, and so the total here in the Philadelphia game now 7.5 over at -120 here. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but that hasn't seemed to affect much, as I think this total's actually gone up a little bit. Let me go to the chat and see what you guys have here with Philadelphia and Cleveland. After Cleveland blitzed them yesterday for sure. All right, let's go to your picks. It's going to be Philly Eagle Flyer likes Philly under and Philly under, and then over live. Ziggy likes the Guardians here, and 9 Legacy likes the Guardians over. He says guards, Indians, right? And what I said was, remember when they made the uniforms, Cleveland, they just wanted to save money, so they left the ends on one side of the uniform, and then they just changed the Indy to the gar. Does that make any sense? Robert's on the under here, and Fernando, I think he's on the under. Guardians first 5, but then the Phillies come back to win late. He says there with that one. All right. And look, I think with Suarez and Bybee, look, we got to see more maybe from Suarez here. It feels like I got to take the Cleveland Guardians as my pick here again. Look, Philadelphia, they can mash at any moment, it feels like, but I'm going to try the Guardians again here, especially against Suarez, not doing too much here just yet. Okay. That does it for that game. Let's move on now to the Red Sox taking on the Royals. And what a game last night, man. It was. Oh, we got a little bit. Let's just take a moment here, shall we? And go to breaking news.
Final.
All right, we do got some breaking news here coming across high-speed sports wire right now. Not necessarily, well, it's a big surprise, but just coming in right now, the New Orleans Saints have announced that Derek Carr has announced his retirement here from football. Derek has had apparently some pain in his shoulder, and it doesn't feel great for him right now to continue activities. And eventually the scans determine that he has a tear and significant degenerative damage to his rotator cuff. So it just doesn't look like Carr would be able to continue developing any strength in his shoulder at this time. So the medical team and experts determined that even though surgery was an option, there was no guarantee that Carr was going to be able to come back. And after talking it over with his family, he is going to retire after an 11-year career. So a little bit of a surprise. I would say in the end, it's going to look like a pretty good career for Derek Carr. Never really achieved, what maybe people expected or what anyone expects there to, in a pro career. But really, if you look at the numbers for this guy, pretty solid career. And now you just got to wonder, what are the Saints going to do at this point? They could have drafted Shador there, I guess. It was an option, especially after, what we saw right now. Who could it be? That what will the Saints do here now without Derek Carr? We saw kind of, and don't hit me with any of those other veterans. I don't know what they can do, but just a little bit of a stunner here. Derek Carr has announced his retirement, and where do we go now? If you're the Saints and Saints fans, if you're out there, let me know. Could it be? Could it be? I'll just say the Aaron Rodgers there, Tyler. It could be Tyler Show there for sure. Or, I don't know who else might be, but moving forward, the Saints have uh, questions at this point. Like I said, I think in the end it will look like a very good career statistically, and for Derek Carr, he definitely had his moments out there for sure. We know his brother's on TV, but will Derek Carr do? Pretty congenial. So, anyways, saw the Saints sign their draft pick, I believe, there in the last day or two, and now we'll have to see what they do though at quarterback. Big news here this morning. All right. Let's get to it here right now and get some of the news from you guys on the game here. I got to continue on with Boston and KC. Like I said, so crazy game there yesterday. No score through 11 innings for finally a 2-1 win for Kansas City and a walk-off. But, man, what a matchup between Garrett Crochet. Where's the graphics? Garrett Crochet taking on Cole Raggins in this one, a pair of left-handers, and Crochet. What can you say? 2.02 ERA, 2.48 BABIP, 183 batting average against, and 8 starts, a 3-2 record. Red Sox are 2-6 to the under with Crochet on the mound. For Raggins, he does a pretty good job here for sure. 3.79 ERA, 1.14 the WHIP. 226 batting average against, but a 351 BABIP would look to have a little bit of luck factored in there. We know Boston having a little bit of internal issues with Devers kind of upset about his situation and everything, but nonetheless, Boston's still a 500 team. Kansas City's been so hot. I think what have they won here now? 17 of 19, 17 of 20? I don't even know, but they've been cooking for sure right now with 7 straight wins overall. It's one of the hottest teams in the league. Kansas City, almost unstoppable. Still, Boston's going to be favored because of Crochet. Oh, wow. No, let me take a look at this. Actually, the Royals are now favored here at maybe $1.15 or so right now. The move is to the Royals. Let's call it $1.15, maybe 7 over for sure on this total. It's definitely gone down. We mentioned the widely reported steam coming in on the under, and well, that's what we're looking at here right now. Heavy action to the under, it feels like, between these two with good pitching, and not to mention nobody could score for 11 innings yesterday. I guess that helps. And you have Kansas City 7-14 to the under at home. So far this season, they've gone under in 4 of their last 5. Boston's gone under in 6 of their last 8 games overall. Boston just 3-6 as an underdog so far this season in Kansas City. 13-4 as a favorite, 16-5 at home. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams here in Kansas City have gone over. Boston's gone over in 5 of their last 7 on the road, but still, these teams have trended under here of late. Let's go to the chat right now and see what you have in the game between Boston and Kansas City. Another good one here. Is it going to be a 0-0? All right, let's see what we've got from you guys here. And Doge has his UFC here. He likes Bilal Muhammad. He likes Manuel Ferrol here today. Thank you, Doge. Nice to have great picks there. And you guys are talking The Saints there, could they get Shador? Did you see this? Shador. Shador was, I believe they said 15-1 that he would get cut. That seems like a good bet. I mean, you got 5 quarterbacks. You're bringing in a rookie that is drafted in a position where quarterbacks barely make it. He's basically 5th on the depth chart. They said 15-1 that he'd be cut. I'd have to play that. I haven't seen it, but that's what they were talking about on the social media. Ziggy here going under. Nerfy here for Philly Eagle Flyer. There's a little more action here right now with Red Sox money line, 9 Legacy money line as well. Man, these Royals are hot, but Fernando's got an under. He'll take the Red Sox. Tremaine's on Kansas City. And, all right, man, this Kansas City team is hot. I'm going to take Boston. I think they do have the advantage here with Crochet over Raggins, but I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be another game possibly here where we're going to be wondering where the runs are going to be coming from. Next up is Miami taking on the White Sox. And hey, how about yesterday's game there yesterday, huh? With the White Sox and Miami here. We did see the final score 6-2. The White Sox pulled away there with that big inning there yesterday. White Sox were able to pick up the win. 2 bad teams here. It was probably the worst series of the weekend here, it feels like. But man, the game yesterday, kind of 3 runs there for the White Sox in the 7th, 1 run in the 8th, to kind of pull away there with the win for Chicago. A much needed win. You know, maybe they got people were saying some divine intervention because breaking news, the Pope is actually a White Sox fan, they said, not a Cubs fan. So I know we talked about it yesterday, but everyone, you know us, we're a little bit ahead of the curve. We say something and then it gets into the mainstream. We're not making it up. I mean, we're just first to report it because we're so early.
Final.
The White Sox are the team of the Pope, apparently, not the Cubs. Although his dad was a Cardinals fan. And of course, you got to have a Cardinals fan when your son is the Pope, or also a Cardinals fan when your son likes the White Sox or the Cubs, right? Because Cubs and Cardinals rivalry. Anyways, 2 bad teams here. Miami 4-11 on the road so far this season. White Sox, they are
final
8-11 at home. That's not bad. Como rocks Cagliari here. I'm off to a rough start. Maybe I should have laid off this soccer here. Como knocks off Cagliari 3-1. All right, let me continue on, though, here with this game with Miami here. They are now the underdog, though. The White Sox are a favorite. That might put some people immediately on the Marlins here, possibly, with Cabrera going. White Sox, call them $1.15 and maybe 8/15, but the White Sox are a favorite here. What is going on with that? The White Sox record is a favorite so far this season. 0-0 here. So is this the day? Now, this White Sox lineup has actually had some success against Cabrera in his career. You got Sosa 2 for 2. You got Robert 1 for 2 with a double. So a couple of these guys have touched him a little bit. There's not a lot of experience here necessarily with this lineup. But I don't know. I think we've got okay pitching here. We've talked about Smith and how good he's been. 2.41 ERA. No wonder he's a favorite in this game. 1.15 whip, a 260 BABIP. For Cabrera, he hasn't been doing anything good at all for Eduard Cabrera. The
final
pitcher has a 6.29 ERA with a 340 BABIP. And The Marlins are 1-4 with Cabrera on the mound. Now, here's the catch: the White Sox are 1-6 with Smith on the mound, but that's not for lack of trying. I mean, he's got great numbers, no run support here. I'm going with the under as my play here in this one. I almost wanted to go with it as a premium, but Cabrera just a little bit sus here coming in, so I'm going to take the under as my play here on the show. Miami's bullpen has been pretty bad. Cabrera's bad. Miami's bullpen is bad, but Smith is good. And I'll take the under in this one. Oh, let me go to your comments. I kind of did get it going here. Ziggy goes with over in this one.
Final.
Here's Jermaine. He likes some Marlins here. And there you go. Did anybody see the mock-up City Connect uniforms for the White Sox with the Pope symbol on there? Keith Just Truth likes the over. He likes the Marlins over in their team total. A 9 Legacy says, give me the White Sox on the money line. And Trevor Davis said the same thing. Remember what I always say when two handicappers right there back to back say the same thing? We might do a little thing with that. Maybe we call that a consensus. And Chase says, this is the first time the White Sox are favorite this year. Here's Robert McCormick, White Sox first 5. I'm on the under as my play here on the show. Let's keep it moving here right now and go up to another one here. Looks like a pretty good one after we saw yesterday with the Reds taking on the Astros. Here in this one, we saw yesterday the Astros were able to get a 3-0 victory over the Reds yesterday. Great pitching performance again from Brown. Does a pretty good job. No one should be fading Brown, it feels like at this point. For McCullers, he had an excellent first start to the season. They'll probably stretch him out a little bit more here. Did not give up a run in that first game, although he did have a 300 BABIP for Brady Singer here. He is 4-2. With a 3.66 ERA, the Reds have done very, very well. Both teams have excellent pitching so far this season. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here. This 140 has gone down for sure. Maybe $1.35 at most, but mostly $1.30 right now. And the total 8 under 15. So maybe the move has been on the Reds here a little bit. They have had some success against McCullers. Of course, McCullers is on the comeback trail after 2 years of being sidelined with an injury, more than 2 years, I believe, here. But still, they have had some guys. Now after 3 years, it's not. They're just Austin Hayes has a hit against him, so actually not much going here. But for Singer, Houston has definitely been popping him a little bit. Some of these guys, you got Pena 2 for 6, Altuve just. You guys 2 for 9. Sorry about that. Paredes just 1 for 9. Both Diaz and Paredes have home runs against him here. But all right, let's see what you guys have in this one with Cincinnati and Houston here today at Houston. Houston favored. And right now, you've got a Houston team that comes in 6-1 in their last 7 games at home. Cincinnati's lost 6 of their last 7 coming in, but Cincinnati has dominated this series, winning 9 of the last 10 matchups between the two teams overall. Coming into this one. So I whiffed yesterday with Cincinnati to try to take them on the run line, but Brown was just too good. Now, McCullers, look, you always got to think this guy was going to be a decent pitcher, son of a former major leaguer as well, and the injuries have been a big problem for him so far in his career, but still, Houston 12-7 at home so far this season, and Cincinnati just 9-13 as an underdog. Still, you got to look at that record for Cincinnati, 9-1 in the last 10 meetings, despite yesterday here. But Astros are playing a lot better here. All of a sudden, they're 19-18 now. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys have here in this one. All right. We're going to start off here with Cash Kane. Reds first 5. 9 Legacy likes the Astros on the run line. And here's Jermaine on the under. Roberts on the under. Ziggy's going to try one more time with the Reds here today. Houston's just 4-12 in the last 16 games at home against Cincinnati, but they did win yesterday. I'm still going to try the Reds one more time. Like I said, I think the season history has a little bit to do with this, and the fact that Singer, a little bit more sturdy arm here right now. We'll see. Hey, if McCullers is back, we're going to find out really quick. I imagine there could be some decent pitching in this game. Let's move on here to the next one with the Cubs taking on the Mets. And, hello. All right. So we've got Brad Keller here going for the Cubs here in this one. So, hey, got Keller sighting, but it's Brad Keller over with the Cubs right now and getting the start here no, we're not. It's Mitch. I can't be getting my Kellers confused here. We know it's Brad Keller here. We know Mitch Keller has been already going, but anyways, you got Brad Keller here with the Cubs in this one. What are his numbers? Get to the numbers here with Keller. So far, been in relief all season. So look, he's a guy who can obviously stretch out here a little bit, but he's made 15 appearances so far with 3.78 ERA and a 3.26 BABIP for Tyler McGill. 7 starts, 3-2 record, 2.5 ERA so far this season for McGill, and a 200 batting average against, and a 280 BABIP. Coming into this one, good matchup here for sure with these two. Got the Mets have won 15 of their last 18 games at home right now. Looking good. Good series here this weekend. We already saw a pretty good one yesterday, although it was pretty lopsided on the scoreboard with the Mets crushing 7-2 here. Look, these bats have had some success, especially the Mets here against McGill. You look at some of these guys. You got Suzuki homered off McGill. You got Crow Armstrong with a hit, a double. Swanson has a double. He's 2 for 5 against him for the Mets. Soto, 2 home runs off of Keller in just 6 plate appearances. He's the only guy who's faced Keller so far. Let's go to the chat here a little bit and see what you guys have in this matchup with the Cubs taking on the Mets. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams here in New York have gone under. Cubs are just 1-4 last 5 games against the Mets. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone under. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game right now. Mets are $1.50 or so, and the total 9 under 15 seems solid. Maybe even 9 under 20 here a little bit because there's also some 8.5s out there. So let's see what you guys have here in this one between the Cubs and the Mets here today. Cubs obviously with a little bit of a pitching not issue here. I think Brad Keller can handle it a little bit, but still he's been in relief this season, and McGill's look good. Here we go. Here's Fernando on the Cubs. 9 Legacy likes to run line. Here's Gorky. He's got our UFL prediction today, and Gorky's giving you the Arlington Renegades. So, hey, let's just do our UFL. Well, I'll wait. I don't know. Gorky's not able to. Gorky's going to give you Arlington today, and I like it. I like it, Gorky. I like it. I'm a Arlington rooter here a little bit. Nick's money line for Gorky also. Here's Cubs, team total over there. And looks like he says take the Mets. Maybe the Cubs are starting to struggle a little bit. And Tyler McGill I think Jermaine's taking Tyler McGill. Here's Ziggy on the Cubs run line. Jermaine will take the Cubs there. And I think that might be it from you guys in this one between the Cubs and the Mets here today. I better make my call. Kind of weighing what you guys said a little bit. I don't think we're getting much. I don't think we're getting much consensus. Hey, let me pass this along to you real quick, though. We've got a move here between St. Louis and Washington. Steam to the over. I'll just mention it right now for subscribers. This was probably going to go out. I still think it might, but this was targeted for a premium pick today on the over. That's why I went with Washington there. But it still may be. Don't hold me to it right now. I'll just have to see where this line settles out and shakes out. But we're seeing St. Louis and Washington moving to the over here right now. 9.5 starting to appear. Nine juice to the over heavily, maybe even up to $1.25. We may see 9.5s as well. So a little bit of steam there. St. Louis and Washington. Let me get my pick together here in this one between the Cubs and Minnesota. Make sure I'm on the right line here a little bit. And I'm going to take the New York Mets as my play here on the show. I do like this total. I think I was going to make the card here, but let's see what else you guys have in this one. And let's see. Gorky says he likes Nuggets on the money line tonight. Thanks, Gorky. All right, I guess that's it for you guys in that Cubs and Mets game. Let's go next up here as we roll along with the Giants taking on the Mets. You got Logan Webb going up against Joe Ryan here in this one. For Webb, he's got a 2.61 ERA. Good numbers here, but a 3.55 BABIP would indicate that maybe a little bit of luck coming in. 250 batting average against. For Joe Ryan, also very good numbers here. 2.92 ERA and a 0.9 whip. 210 batting average against. So far, Ryan is 0-5-2 to the under so far this season. For San Francisco here against Minnesota, following yesterday's game there between these two. We didn't. I don't think we talked about it on the show on the monologue because I lost the game here yesterday, right, with taking San Francisco there with Hicks over Paddock, but Minnesota comes in here hot. Right now, one of the hotter teams in the league are the Minnesota Twins. They've won 6 straight. They've also won 7 straight at home. But San Francisco's had some success here, 5-2 in their last 7, although just 2-5 in their last 7 games on the road. They've also gone just 2-5 here in Minnesota over their last 7 games here. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And current line right now, Minnesota definitely favored here. Maybe the total's a little bit lower than that. It is juiced to the over. Better call it 7/15. It's definitely not 7/20. I don't know if I can find one at all. I'll call it 7/15 here right now in this one between the Giants and the Twins. As the Twins were able to get that one yesterday. Final score was 3-1 as Paddock was able to get the good performance there against Hicks. All right, go ahead, team. Let's see what you got here in this one between San Francisco and Minnesota here today with Webb and Ryan. Good starters going here, but a kind of a low total. And I'm going to the chat. Here we go. We've got Giants first 5 money line for Cash Kane. Here's Ziggy on the over in this one. And Robert McCormick says, Haley Baptiste here. We're watching the action here with Spitolina right now. And they're all kind of knotted up here. I think Spitolina is now on serve, but it's a very close match. It's already a winner, I believe, on the I might have to win one more game here. I just have too many matches on. And let's see here. A Nerfy here, and also a Nerfy for Nathan. And okay, I'll make the call here with this one. It does look like kind of a lost locale. Okay, Robert. Oh, we got it. Okay, thank you, Robert. Just trying to see the score there a little bit. Too many games here today. All right. And, I'm going to end up on the over here in this one as my play. Despite pretty good pitching here on the surface, I'm still going to take the over in this one with San Francisco and Minnesota today. Okay. Padres on the road here with Kolek. Pitch good his first time out, but look, he's been a part of this team. So it's not it's not inexperienced necessarily, but hey, you're going into Colorado. They still gave up 9 runs yesterday in a slugfest, but Colorado's lost $1 billion in a row here right now, and the Padres really did mash them early on. They got there early and often, scoring double digits by the time they reached the 5th or 6th inning. Even I kind of tuned out of the Padre game. They were beating them up so bad and watched kind of focused on some other games. Padres were just cruising. Oh, Colorado did come back a little bit, but Padres just kind of going through the motions there, getting the win yesterday. Rockies are 6-32 right now, so still have the Padres, pretty dominating favorite here. You know what I got to take in this one? The widely reported steam came in on the Padres. They're up to as high as 230, it feels like here right now, and why not? They should be able to smash these guys, quite frankly. The total actually has also gone up to 12 here in this one on some more widely reported steam. I don't know if I can get with that, although, like we said, a huge offensive output, 21 runs, I think, was it yesterday in this game. Probably be the same thing, it feels like, again here today. I'm going to take the Padres on the run line here. They'll continue to roll right now, taking advantage. They used to struggle a little bit with Colorado when they had good teams, but so far, Blaylock here, monster ERA, 8 ERA so far this season. Kolek in his first start did not give up a run here. He's not all that, but he did have a good outing. So I'll take the Padres here on the run line today. It is minus 1.5 and minus 165, but I'll take it. I'll just have to take it here. When you look at a run line in Colorado at minus 1.5, minus 165, look, I know it's hard to want to say, hey, take a 230 favorite, but if the run line's only $1, I say it only, run line's $1.65 and the money line is only 65 cents more, that's kind of value there a little bit. To me, not the value that I like to explain, but Rockies are down already 23 units so far this season. I'm going to take the Padres in this one. And you guys can comment if you want here. And I see some Rockies support in there. It's going to be Ziggy going over. Cash Kane says, take the Rockies today. Price is just too high. And Keith just truth. Nate says Padres first to score. Keith just truth says Padres run line and over. Robert will take the Padres in the first 5 run line there. Next up, we're cruising along. We're almost done here. Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks here in this one. Dusty May taking on Corbin Burns. Here you got May with the 4.36 ERA, 2.58 BABIP, 1.2 the WHIP. Corbin Burns, 3.58 ERA. He's 1-1 with a 2.64 BABIP. Kind of identical numbers for these pitchers so far. Maybe they've actually been a bit of a disappointment. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here after what we saw yesterday. I need to update it. The Dodgers are favored here, $1.15, maybe $1.20 right now. And the total is 9.5. Oh, shaded to the under here a little bit. But after what we saw yesterday with the Dodgers getting those 6 runs in the 9th and the way that both teams were kind of smacking the ball around, we'll see here. But both these pitchers have had a little bit of success against the anticipated lineups here today. You do have for May here held some of these guys. Gurriel 0 for 6, Kettle Marte, who had the big day yesterday despite the loss, 0 for 6, Thomas 0 for 5. Corbin Carroll does have a couple of doubles, I believe, against him. Ohtani, we saw his home run yesterday. 3 for 6 against Burns with a home run. Mookie 3 for 9. Will Smith just 1 for 10. Muncy 0 for 9. Conforto 0 for 6 here in this one. So let's see what you have in this game between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks here tonight. For the Dodgers, they've won 10 of their last 13 coming in. 8 of the last 9 games for the Dodgers have gone over. Arizona, though, has gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over when playing here in Arizona. Dodgers got that win. The final score yesterday was 14-11 when it was all said and done. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. Could they calm down the runs after all the ball was flying out of the park there for sure yesterday? Man, it was blasting off, but I'm going to try the under as my play on the show with May and Burns. Let's try to get this under control a little bit, guys, shall we? I'll take the under. I'm not giving out as a premium, that's for sure, but I gotta try under here. Fernando of the Padres on a team total over. Here's Dodgers money line. Nate says revenge for the Diamondbacks, maybe. Cash Kane going under, but Keith says go over here as the bullpens were giving it up there yesterday. Arizona has a bullpen ERA so far this season of 5, and the Dodgers, they're 3.67, I believe, right now. So I'll try the under, though. They better be a lower scoring game. Next up is the Orioles taking on the Angels here. Hey, I had the Orioles yesterday as my pick here on the Morning Steam Show. And you've got Gibson going up against Kokonowitz here in this one. For Gibson, he's been pretty bad so far with a 14 ERA. Kokonowitz a 5.79 ERA. He's 1-5 overall this season. So 2 starters that haven't really found any rhythm here yet. Angels have lost 10 of their last 13. Baltimore's lost 5 of their last 6. But Baltimore has won 8 of their last 10 games overall against the Angels. Coming into this one, Angels have gone over in 4 of their last 5 on the road and 8 of their last 10 overall. 11 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Baltimore has gone under in 13 of their last 16 games overall, thanks to that offense that comes in just averaging 3.7 runs per game. The Angels also averaging 3.7 runs per game, and both teams allowing about 5.5 runs per game, but didn't factor in yesterday and what turned out to be a low-scoring game, 3-0 or 4-1. It was I believe 3-0 there. Through most of the game, and then there were some runs late. Baltimore got 3 runs early in the game there against Kyle Hendricks. So, let's get your play here in this one with Baltimore. Both teams pretty bad. Like I said, Mariners, White Sox, Orioles, Angels, 2 bad series here for sure. But, hey, got to pick a winner here on the Morning Steam. So let me know what you have with these two and get it going here right now, shall we? It's going to be Ziggy likes the over here, and Nathan is on the Angels here in this one. does seem like a little bit of a high price there, right? And Nate wants some baseball action today, some college baseball. Maybe I'd come up with a play or two before we get off the air here. Haven't been able to really look at the lines yet, but I'm ready to go with the lines. And hey, we might have a little package out there today and some college baseball, the way we're going to be sitting around waiting for the sports to start.
Critical notice.
All right. Looks like FAA has quit the tournament here. Bochum got crushed. Man, my soccer was a failure here today. Probably should have sent it out there. Probably should have sent it out there with the VIP picks instead. It feels like all of a sudden. All right. All right, I think. Oh, I better get my play in here in this one with Baltimore and the Angels here with these two. And look, the widely reported steam did come in on the over here. In fact, I need to update this because the total is 10. And yesterday here on the, let's see, what was it? There we go. 10. We'll call it 10, and maybe the Orioles are down to $1.45 or so. And hey, look, the Orioles are playing a little bit better here. It feels like of late, but they're still just 6-14 on the road. The Angels are 8-9 at home. Yeah, they got the win here yesterday, but I'll take the over here in this one with Baltimore and the Angels. Give me the over. We got a couple more here right now. And, oh, here we go. 9 Legacy says Baltimore run line and take the Orioles on the run line. For the next one here, we've got our final game between the Blue Jays taking on the Mariners here with Bowden Francis taking on Evans here in this one for the Mariners. And Logan Evans here. He's got a 7.2 ERA so far this season for Evans. He's got a 1.8 WHIP and a 3.87 BABIP coming in, but Bowden Francis is 2-5 with a 5.66 ERA, still a 2.67 BABIP. Pretty solid numbers. Pretty solid BABIP number there. Seattle did get the 6-3 win, or I'm sorry, Toronto. We should know. I had Toronto there a little bit with my premium pick. We took Toronto as a dog yesterday, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of pitching advantage here with Francis in this one, despite the fact that Seattle's been pretty strong at home, 12-7 so far this season at home. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here as we wrap up the show today and try to get some picks out to you here, but let's hear what you have to say in this one with Toronto and Seattle. Toronto's lost 12 of their last 18 games overall coming into this one. Seattle's won 8 of their last 11, despite what happened there yesterday, it feels like. Let's go see what you have here. And it's going to be Keith says the Mets and the Cubs over is coming in. A little money coming in there. Says, was there some steam in that one? You bet there was. Ziggy's on the Blue Jays. Dine Legacy says Blue Jays on the running line. And Cash Kane says Jays first 5. And look, you guys, man, are the Jays a consensus pick here right now? 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. We saw plenty of runs there yesterday. It felt like Seattle's gone over in 10 of their last 12. Toronto's gone over in 6 straight. Give me Seattle here, but you know where I'm headed with this one, especially after we saw plenty of runs there yesterday. Yes, it ended up just 6-3, I say, because felt like they were going to get more there late. But I did go well over the 7 here. And yes, we are dealing with, I don't know, this feels like you never see a total here get this high in Seattle anymore, 8. And we're even seeing some 8.5 unders here right now. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Mariners as my play here on the show. That's it for the morning steam, except for, do we have Gorky here? Because he said he's on Arlington here. And look, if Gorky's going to be on Arlington here, I'm going to take the under as my play on the show. But I'll tell you what, let's just parlay it up with Gorky's pick, because I like Arlington as well. I mean, if I can get Arlington at home as a dog, I think it open to pick them. But give me the Renegades here plus the points at home in this game in the UFL here tonight. I think, let me get the game time here. It's actually at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific. So I can complain all I want about no sports. I'll watch the UFL here. Renegades are 3-3. They're 3-3 against the spread. The Panthers are 4-2. Also 3-3 against the spread. The Panthers have had the better offense, but hey, the Renegades are at home. And yes, they have my man, Mr. Spring Football, but he has not looked that great on the road, and actually hasn't been all that awesome this season. But, Michigan's got a pretty good quarterback too, but I'll still take the under in this one at 42. It's actually up to 43, it looks like right now. So give me the Renegades and the under for a little UFL parlay. And let's see here. Terrell says take Braggs. Robert says he likes these Seattle. And Nate says go with the Indiana Hoosiers as his college baseball pick today. Okay, I'm going to try one here as well. Give me Florida over Texas here today. I'll take the Gators to win over
Final.
Texas. That'll be my play. And so you can take Indiana and you could take Florida. And we got our plays here. The Florida game's at 7 p.m. Eastern here. And I think that, let me see, I think I got one more here, maybe real quick. Let me see. I haven't looked at the line, so I'm just going down here. I'm going to take Texas A&M minus 5.5 runs against Missouri today. So those are my two plays here in college baseball on the show. That's Florida and Texas A&M minus 5.5 runs. Keith Just Truth says, Ramon, you can't forget about the WNBA today. We've got the WNBA preseason with 3 games today. You got to be ready for these. So let me go ahead and take a quick look here. I've got my numbers ready and see if I can get at least one playoff to you here. We've got the schedule today. Indiana is at Atlanta. You've got Chicago at Minnesota as well. And Dallas is up against foreign team today. So, hey, my play is going to be here on Indiana and Atlanta. I say go over 162.5 in the game between Indiana and Atlanta. That will be my WNBA play, and we may have something later tonight on Chicago, Minnesota. We'll probably send that out as a VIP free selection over at winnable.com. You can get more plays from me today by going to winnable.com/Ramon and subscribe to my premium picks or sign up for my free picks over there at winnable.com. This is how you get more plays from me. This is how you support me on the channel by subscribing to my premium picks for just 56 cents a day. You get the monthly package. I send out a couple of updates on the free service, usually an update or two on the free service. I'm sorry. An update or two on the free service, maybe 1 to 3 right now, it seems like, on the premium. Remember, other than the major sports, usually the VIP free stuff, free picks, or when I'm feeling a little bit confident, and then if put them behind the paywall, kind of like today with the soccer, but that didn't pay off. But that's all right. We've got some winners here in tennis today, and that seems to be my specialty when the clay court season rolls around. So, hey, please check me out. This is how you support me here on the channel. We are viewers supported here on the Sports Money Network. Don't forget, join us today for the guys. We'll be around here at about 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. I think the show is scheduled for earlier, but I'm pretty sure that the card begins. Maybe I'm just telling Mike, let's go a little later. The card, though, does start at 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific here tonight with UFC. And also remember, PFL, just 23 minutes away here in the PFL. We got a few picks here. Take Mikkelinen over Van Steenis. Take Mikkelinen over Van Steenis in the PFL, and also take Ald over Luxton in a women's bout today. So that's Mikkelinen and Ald as our 2 picks here today in the PFL Belfast. It comes up here in just a short time. All right, that's going to do it here. Let me see what else we got. I think we can run the contest here right now and bring it in. Uh-oh. Whoa. I just saw a match here wrap up, and I'm trying to get off the air. Here we go. Let's do – I don't even know if we had a consent. We haven't even won, but let's just do it here today. Maybe a one-teamer. Somebody's going to try to win $3. I don't know. Trap God, Nuke, AOD, Gorky, Keith, Jermaine, Smoke, Kripke, Textiles, and the winner is Todd Clinton, who always stops by and says hi. Thank you to Todd for being a good supporter here of our channel on the Sports Money Network. And that's going to do it for the show. Really appreciate you guys joining me. And don't forget to join us tonight for the live coverage here today between for the UFC with that big fight between Muhammad and Della Maddalena for the welterweight championship, and those flyweight Shevchenko and Manuel Ferro here. Also, I'll have I think I will have an MLS card go out. That might be on the free VIP here today. But baseball, I do got 1 pick coming your way in the premiums in the NHL. Look, subscribers were saying, hey, we're not getting any NHL, and my plays are almost all free in the playoffs. Hope you're following me on the different various telecasts and streams out there, and all my plays are pretty much public knowledge here in the playoffs, but I'll have 1 NHL for sure today. So really appreciate all the support, and thanks a lot. Peter Gracia, nice to see you today in the chat. That's going to do it for the show. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.